What's up? Thank you all for being here, and before we get into the video, please go hit that like button and subscribe. It helps out a ton. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So sometimes scrolling through Newegg or Amazon when shopping for your new graphics card is daunting because you see like 8 different looking cards with the same names. Some cost more than others, some look better than others, so what board partner should you choose? Or should you just go with the reference version? It really just depends on your preferences and your rig. Let me first say that without overclocking, a higher price version of the card you are buying, the frames are going to be the same, or at most one frame more than the cheapest version. So obviously, as I just stated, if you aren't going to overclock, just go with the one that would look best in your setup, or the cheapest one if you're on a tight budget. But now let's talk about cooling, one of the major reasons most people will want to go with a custom card. The reference card uses a cooling system called blower cooling, which means all of the hot air comes out the side where the I/O is and never really goes into the case. Great if you're building a micro ITX PC where it is cramped and airflow is limited. If you had an open air one, this would mean higher temps because you'd just be putting all of the hot air into the cramped area. If you're rocking SLI/Crossfire and you're not going to water cool any of the cards, putting hot air into the case and therefore right back into possibly the other GPU is not a good idea. So again, the blower style card will be for you, where it doesn't go back into the case right near that other GPU that's generating a lot of hot air. Another advantage to the reference version is that it will be compatible with water blocks made for that specific GPU. But if you're doing none of these things, a blower style cooler can be up to 20 degrees Celsius hotter than an open air cooler, which is used on most custom cards. An open air cooler is where the heat is spread out through fins and pushed out of the card from the fan. The heat pipes also aid in this process, and it just expels hot air in all of the directions, making it thus more efficient. But this also heats up the rest of your system, and if you don't have great airflow or your case is really small, it's not going to be very good, and you should just go with the blower. But if you have a bigger case with great airflow, and even good airflow, this is the card for you. Some other advantages from custom cards is that most have customizable LEDs, some with RGB LEDs. Custom cards can also be bigger or smaller than the reference, so keep that in mind. You don't want to go buy a giant GPU and have it not fit in your system. The last thing I want to go over is power connectors. Some custom GPUs will require more power than reference. So that means that, say, the reference 1070 requires one 8-pin, the G1 Gaming from Gigabyte 1070 might require 2 8-pins. So just keep that in mind, because there's some custom cards can require more power, especially if they have a title like Amp for the Win Super Clocker G1 Gaming, which means that they're going to be hard overclockers. So just make sure you look into your power supply as you're looking for graphics cards, and just make sure to keep that in your mind. Thank you guys all for watching. I will see you in the next video, but before I go, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It helps me a lot. Thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you next time.